Hello everybody. For those of you that owns a Honda CRZ, as you know, your gauges are very limited. You have no water temp, oil pressure, or volts. You just get the basics in the cluster. So I'm kind of showing you what I'm doing as far as putting gauges in. You can get a gauge pod from Japan that goes in the center bit, but it is very expensive. But I did find a company called Ortiz Custom Gauges that is in Rhode Island that I had them make me one for my center bin. And let me kind of show you what it looks like. Alright, there it is. This is the bin. I got it apart right now. And then this sits on that, and then it hinges up so you can still use it. The gauges are just still sitting in there right now. These are the gauges I chose. They're VDO. They're from Australia. I could not find them in the States. Electrical, of course, and this turned out really nice. Everything is just molded together. And unfortunately, I don't have a tripod or anything to show you the install, but I can kind of show you what I've already done so far. So as far as the water, I've just got an adapter that goes into your hose, the radiator hose, and it is a 28 millimeter. And then down here is the oil sending unit, which is capped off of where the oil light is. I don't know if you can see. Okay, yeah, there's where, focus. There's where the sender, the factory sender is. So I just basically teed off of it. Ran my wires behind the intake, and then zip tied them, and then ran them along the frame rail, and I punctured a hole in the factory wire harness grommet. Well, that was the only place that seemed feasible, but let me kind of show you what you have to do, because there's actually quite a bit of work involved if you're interested in doing this, but it is fairly simple. First off, you got to remove the glove box and all the trim and everything. But this unit right here, this is the fan unit and the fresh air. That has to come, you can't get it out without removing the IP, but you can. There's three bolts and 2 screws. You can leave all the wiring and everything hooked up, but it's enough where you can drop it back so it gives you access to that grommet. Well, I was able to run the wire through the grommet, and this is it right here, and then it comes up through the dash, and then I've got it coming out where the bin is at. Now you got to remove the radio, you got to remove some of the bits and pieces and stuff. It's not that hard. Honda, they're very clever as far as clips and everything comes apart really easy, and also goes back together real nice and tight and snug. But I didn't break one clip or anything. I just took my time. But anyway, let me grab that cover, and I'll just sit it in place so you can kind of see what it looks like. And then I will tap off for my power. I'll just tap into a fuse link, and then of course you ground it, and then I'll run the lighting off of a lighting circuit. But those are my 2 sender wires. So anyway, it will look like that. So I'm very happy with the way it's going to look. I can't wait to finish up. As you can see, it's got a really cool speedo tack, but then you got the digital gauges on the side. I don't have the key in, or I'd show you. I'm sure all of you that have a CRZ know what it looks like. But anyway, if you're interested in doing the center gauge pod with the bin, this is the way it would look. And then of course, once it's in, this will still lift up and you can be able to put your glasses or whatever into it. But there is a little bit of not modification, but a little bit of work taking apart a few pieces. And yeah, like I say, you're gonna have to drop that down. Like I say, it was easiest to come in through the passenger side because of that grommet. I looked on the driver's side and there was just so much stuff over there. It just wasn't going to happen. So anyway, hope you guys like it, and give me a thumbs up and a comment below. Thank you. Have a good evening.